Here we have the all-new 2024 Hyundai Kona. This one is in the N-line trim level. Comes in Atlas white, and then we have the black N-line sport combination seats. But for the powertrain, we get a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission and an all-wheel drive system. But as we come around to the front end here, we do get LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights. Love the look there. They really made this thing look like Iron Man for this year. Very, very nice look. Now down here to the wheels, these are gonna be 19-inch alloy, and I'm surprised how big of a wheel this is on this vehicle, but it does look good. We get passive keyless entry on the front doors. Power mirror controls are there, power door locks, one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back. Electronic rear window lock is there, and we do have blind spot monitors. Downhill brake control, electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Hood release is there. We do get these nice sport alloy pedals. That's what they look like there. Those still have the plastic on them. We do get a manual tilt, telescoping steering wheel. And here's the power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support. And as you can see, I believe this is like a micro suede or something. And then we have the leather red on the side here, but love how the seats look. Big shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description. I'm gonna try to zoom in here, even though it's getting dark. Hopefully y'all can see all the standard features here. I can see it on my screen, but I don't know if I'll be able to show it good enough on the video. So I apologize in advance if it doesn't appear that great. But sticker price $34,630. You're getting 24 miles per gallon city, 29 highway according to the EPA. But let's go ahead and check out this rear seat room. I'm 6'3", sitting here behind myself, excuse me. Not bad space at all for this to be a small SUV. I'd almost consider the Kona a compact SUV. The only thing smaller is going to be that Hyundai Venue, which I don't really consider an SUV, but if you consider that an SUV, this is small. But rear AC vents are there, 2 USB-C charge ports. You have a netted seat back pocket there, and then you do have the bottle holders right there. And I apologize for the lighting here. As the sun goes down, it just messes me up big time. Let me leave that on, maybe I can see this, but grab handle, nope, you can't. But the grab handle and then the hanger hook allows you to hang one plastic hanger hook on it or a metal hanger hook, depending on what you need. And for the fuel door, looks like this is locked. So that means lever is right there. For those of you who like having a lockable fuel door, there you have it. Love that spoiler as we come around to the back end. That just looks menacing, very impressive. Love the exhaust tip as well. There's a quick look underneath the vehicle. But I love how they did that. It sounds good too. Now lifting the lift gate here, decent space behind here. Again, there's plastic throughout. It still hasn't been taken off, so that's why the trunk looks like that. But the spare is underneath there. And we do have that cargo shade, so when you shut it, you can't see in there. But yeah, that spoiler is very impressive. And then if you want to fold the seat down here, all you have to do is pull this. And then when the seat's up far enough, that'll fold flat. Top tethers are up there, and then your anchors are down in there. And then our front passenger seat, I believe that's 6-way manual, so you can pop it up or down, move the seat back or forth, and the seat bottom forward and back as well. Glove compartment, owner's manuals and such. I'm gonna try to hurry this up because it's just gradually getting darker out here. Back to the front. There's that 1.6 Turbo 4. Next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So from the steering wheel here, There's the horn. I'm impressed by that. We do get a nice leather wrap steering wheel. And it just feels sporty. And of course, with the red stitching and whatnot, it looks sporty as well. Now to the screen here, this is the nav here. I can hit that eyeglass and then type in destinations or whatever. Set up points of interest and all that. Audio, AM, FM, XM. We get Bluetooth as well, and then Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. And then for your settings, go in here for vehicle settings, mess with your driver assistance and all that. And then general settings, you can go in here, mess with your units of measurement and language. Backup camera's there, pretty good picture actually. And then the guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. Audio can be adjusted there. Click there to turn the audio off. Tune knob is there. And then you have a custom button here, shortcuts and all that there. And there's that hazard button. Dual zone automatic climate controls. You can adjust fan direction here, fan speed, cut the whole system off. And then here we have our USB-C ports here, charging, and then you can use this for the CarPlay or Android Auto. 12 volt there, wireless charging pad down there. And then we do have 3-stage heated front seats here. Hit this camera button, that'll pull up that backup camera again. And then automatic brake holds here. You have 3 drive modes and a center differential lock there, but normal, sport, and snow are those drive modes. Your bottle holders, you can toggle those if you want to kind of cut them off or not. And then right here, removable tray, but there's that center console space. Now with the roof, you do have a power shade as well as the actual glass that's power. And those controls are right there if you can see them. But there's a view of the back seat from up here. And then headlamp controls are here, blinkers. When you're in auto mode, toggle those auto high beams. And then you have your intermittent wipers here. So one time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust the intermittent here, and then your rear wiper low, high, off there. Push back for that rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front. Paddle shifters are behind the steering wheel. Smart cruise, you can adjust your speed, pause, and resume by clicking here. Gap adjust for that adaptive cruise. Lane centering, and then you can use this to go through your sub-menus, and then within the sub-menus that you can scroll through to go through your options. And then this mode button goes to your sources, which you can configure there. And then you have that second custom button you can configure there. Bluetooth, voice recognition, track list or radio station presets can be toggled here, and then volume up, down, click there to mute. For the shifter, you just have this little knob, so pull down for reverse, pull up for drive, tap down from either direction for neutral, press on the side there for park. Push button start, key fob with remote start. You might not be able to see through that plastic, there it is. But before it gets too dark, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Kona N-Line out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Kona N-Line, the 1.6 turbo is pretty potent. It does rev pretty hot, but it gets up to speed very nicely. And I like that we have the 8-speed automatic as opposed to the CVT here, just because it makes it that much more fun to drive. Yeah, very, very quick. Now this is a Kona N-Line. I feel like for the money it is a bit steep for a Kona, but it is a fun Kona. You have all-wheel drive, that Turbo 4, a nice looking interior, and then having the roof, heated seats, smart cruise, and all that is nice. But overall, the driving dynamics are decent. It's still a Kona. It's not meant to be, even though it's an N-Line, it's not meant to be the Sonata N-Line or just more of a sport car. It's just meant to be a sport Kona, if that makes sense. So even though it has a 1.6 Turbo 4, it's still not something you necessarily want to race in. It just gives you that exhilaration from the turbocharger. But I mean, you're not going to be smoking anybody off the line, but you might smoke a few people actually. Again, it is quick, it's just not fast, if that makes sense. But I do like the overall visibility as I'm looking out the windshield here. The windshield's nice and big. The roof, or not the roof, but the hood is sloped down to give you even more visibility there. We should be able to get a nice pull as we come out of this corner, but we'll see. Yeah, very good acceleration. And again, having the smart cruise is a nice touch. And then with the lane centering, you can just chill. Of course, you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel at all times, but I just like to show how the technology works. And I didn't even have the lane centering on. I thought I did, so oops. Now again, for this price, it just depends. If you want something like this and you're not gonna be that afraid of it, I think there are other options if you're looking for something that's actually a sports car. So something like a WRX or maybe a Mustang or something like that. You can get one for around the same money with the same interior, but it's not gonna be a Kona. I feel like you get a few more creature comforts here as opposed to your basic sports car. And then you still have a pretty roomy interior compared to those as well. Now, I do think a good competitor for the Kona is the Chevy Trax for the most part. But one thing that Chevy doesn't have, and even like Honda's HR-V, you don't get a sporty variant of that. Like they have like the sports and all that, but they don't feel as sporty as this does, especially with this powertrain. So that's something else to consider as well for the price point. Now, I think the best way to describe this buyer for something like this is somebody who wants something that looks different, something that's relatively sporty, but more fuel efficient than sporty, if that makes sense. Now, again, I think there are some better options if you want something that isn't necessarily shaped like this. But if you want a Hyundai Kona and you want something sporty, or even something in this segment like a Chevy Trax and you want something sportier, something that's fun to drive, something that looks cool, something that has some features to it, definitely make sure you take a look at this 2024 Hyundai Kona in the N-Line trim level.